Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Bert, where I bring the art of conversation, the experience of colloquy, the adventure of tete-a-tete to you from my round table of talk.
And now, Conversations with Bert.
Let's just dive into the conversation, shall we? Please tell me a little bit about yourself. Family? Brothers? Sisters? Parents?
Well, first of all, again, as a United States Senator from Vermont, my first obligation, frankly, is to make certain that kids in my state and kids all over this country have the ability to go to college, which is why I am supporting tuition-free public colleges and universities.
Yes.
I believe we should create millions of jobs rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure and ask the wealthiest people in this country to start paying their fair share of taxes. I believe we should raise the minimum wage to at least $15 an hour so people in this country are not living in poverty. And I think we end the disgrace of some 20% of our kids living in poverty in America. Now, how do you do that? What you do that is understand there's been a huge redistribution of wealth in the last 30 years from the middle class to the top 0.1%. Now, the other thing that you understand globally is you have horrendous imbalance in terms of wealth in the world. As I mentioned earlier, the top 1% will own more than the bottom 99% in a year or so. That's absurd. And that takes you to programs like the IMF and so forth and so on. But I think what we need to be doing as a global economy is making sure that people in poor countries have decent paying jobs, have education, have health care, have nutrition for their people. That is a moral responsibility. But you don't do that, as some would suggest, by lowering the standard of American workers, which has already gone down very significantly.
Okay, as a follow-up, if you could be any kind of fabric, what would it be and why?
In my view, that is exactly what should be happening. Instead of spending all of our time raising money, I think we should go out organizing people and getting them to around a progressive agenda which expands the middle class, which tells the billionaire class that they cannot have it all, which says to corporate America, you're going to have to start paying your fair share of taxes, which says we're going to raise the minimum wage. We are going to make college available to all regardless of their income.
And?
That we are going to have pay equity for women workers, that we are going to create millions of jobs rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure.
Yes.
You need a progressive agenda. Then you need the ability to go out and organize people. And when that happens, things change here. It's not the other way around, in my view.
That's absolutely right. If you could wear a sock from any time period, what sock would that be?
3 or 4 years ago,
modern day.
We have got to move in a very, very bold way. We have to do it yesterday.
If I could wear any, it would be the 5th century puttees.
What are you talking about?
Very popular in Europe in the 5th century, and very comfortable too.
Where is the UK? Where is France? Germany is the economic powerhouse in Europe.
Absolutely.
They provide health care to all of their people. They provide free college education to their kids. Well, you know what? Germany and France and the UK and Scandinavia and the rest of Europe, all of us have got to work together to prevent those types of genocide and atrocities.
I think we can do it. If everybody just really focused really hard, it could happen. I am. Now, you're a very funny man. Do you have a favorite dry white toast joke?
I often make the joke, although it's not such a joke, is that if we could spend half of the time in this country talking about why the middle class is collapsing as opposed to football or baseball, we would revolutionize what's going on in America. I want that discussion. I want to know why the rich get richer and everybody else gets poorer. I want to know why the United States is the only major country on earth that doesn't provide health care to all of their people. The only major country that doesn't have family and medical leave so that women can stay home with their kids when they have a baby. Those are the questions we should be discussing.
There is a punchline coming, right?
No, I think, and by the way, I should also tell you, when you talk about foreign policy, what you didn't ask me, which may be as important an issue as any, is the issue of climate change.
You're the funny guy, but... Here's a good question for you. If you were stranded on a desert island, who would you like to be your companion there?
Well, that's a great question.
Well, that's what everybody says, but let me give you some choices, okay? A paperclip, a bottle cap, or a pigeon.
Look, everybody knows that racism has existed from day one. I mean, think about what we did to the Native Americans, what people who came from Europe did to the Native Americans.
Right.
The atrocities committed. Think about the horrors of slavery.
Some of my best friends are
Think about
pigeons.
what we did to the Asian folks that came to build the railroads and the Asian Exclusion Act. Think about discrimination against Italians.
They might be
Irish,
watching, okay?
Jews, virtually everybody else who was not like, the people who were here.
Yes. I don't know about the second reason. That's not really a suitable reason.
Well, I would look at it, the answer is you're right, but I would approach it from another way.
I feel like we've gotten really close to one another during this conversation. Do you mind if we take a little peek deeper inside the psyche? Get ready for Bert's Brainbusters! Are you ready? Okay. I'm going to ask you a series of questions and you answer them as quickly and as honestly as you can. Okay, here we go. What is your favorite three-angled shape?
Can't give you, that's a very good question. I can't give you a definitive answer right now.
What is your favorite number?
$15 an hour.
What is your official sock worldview?
Maybe the most important thing that you're talking about is war. And voting to go to war is the
One of
most
those,
difficult decision that any member of Congress has to
Russian.
make. So I'll tell you a little bit about my foreign policy. It has to
You
be
want
a
to hear my
global
official
commitment.
sock worldview? Yeah. I'm not sure we really have time for the whole thing, but it's basically summarized like this. I really feel that one day, I'm hoping every sock will meet its match.
Not only do I think they can, I know they can.
What are your favorite 3 foods that start with the letter B?
The billionaire class, the big campaign contributors
Yes.
believe.
Okay. Who is your favorite herald? Herald.
What does that mean? You want to define what the word is? Do I think Israel has the right to exist? Yeah, I do.
Right. And pets? Any pets?
Yes.
What was his name?
Pope Francis.
That was well done. Bravo on Bert's Brainbusters. The conversation was enlightening,
will never
entertaining,
forget,
and engaging.
Kind of a moment that one will remember for my whole life. Taking a group of Vermont women across the border to Canada, that is insane.
Okay. Relax.
You gotta register to vote, you tryna search for answers. And once you register to vote for Bernie Sanders. Better get involved, Medicare for all. Instead of building walls, student debt is clear for all. Yeah, that's right, Bernie Sanders. Everybody and their mama like Bernie Sanders.